All right, so this training is the only 2 AI tools you need to make your first $1,500 online. Nice, easy AI side hustle. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because there's 10 million tools and processes and more added every day when it comes to AI, right? And I want to simplify and demystify AI, right? And I think a lot of us kind of have a grip on things, but I just want you to understand that using our simple strategy, the simple business model, you don't need to be constantly learning new tools and toys to play with. Okay. You can literally just get away with knowing 2 simple, easy to use tools to make your first money online and build that from again, a simple side hustle to something full-time if you want. All right. So we're going to review what that looks like. We're going to cover what the business looks like. We're going to cover what the tools are, and then we'll walk through all the steps and we'll do a demo at the end. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, the business, right? Let's talk about the business. So regardless of what tools and anything we're using, we need to have a very simple business model and strategy to follow. Okay. And you've seen me talk about this over and over and over again from even before AI was a big thing. This is how it all started for me, again, 2012. And it's been the same process that we have used in our business and I've used in my business. And then we have been teaching people in our program since 2017. Okay. It hasn't changed. And why? Is because it's such a powerful, effective strategy, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to build our business in a way that makes it easy to sell, even when we're brand new, and easy to turn into, again, scalable revenue that we can grow each and every month. And again, build a full-time business around. So it all boils down to starting off with a foot in the door service. Okay. We want to start the whole process with the results first trial service. Okay. Something that gets our foot in the door and gets someone to work with us that we can then grow that relationship with. Okay. So a results first trial accomplishes that very simply because we're not going to try to do like everybody else and say that we can do something. We are actually going to do something and then say, hey, I've done this thing for you. Do you want to continue this relationship? Is this something you're interested in? And if so, let's continue the relationships, continue the conversation. Makes it way easy. It disarms people, especially in this world where everybody's trying to sell everybody something. Okay. This takes a different approach where we're like, look, we are a results-based business and we put our money where our mouth is by actually delivering a result first before asking you for the money. Okay. So again, very simple model. This kind of model has been around in different businesses and throughout the years. We implement it in our business because it is very effective and it's an easy way to get started. Okay. And again, this is something you can repeat for the rest of your business career. Okay. This can be something temporary where you just, until you're getting a few clients, and then you have a nice portfolio of clients that you can constantly be referencing, and you can pretty much eliminate this, but it's still even so, there's folks that, including myself, that would still use this type of selling process, again, to continue growing the business. Okay. So all we do is provide the results first trial service. And then we say, hey, is this something you're interested in? And then we sell it. At that point, money exchanges hands. And then the next thing is we've now established the relationship, and the ultimate goal is to offer them, upsell other services that would benefit them over the course of time, over the course of that relationship, whether that's immediately after the trial service, or maybe they're not interested then, or it doesn't make sense then. Maybe that's down the road. But once I've sold the trial service, I'm now in a client relationship with them. And so there's someone I can revisit down the road if something currently there's no opportunities currently. Or again, it's something that can easily transition right to the next thing. So anyway, it's the model that sets this up. Okay. Now, what is the offer going to be? Okay, so we know what the business looks like. We know what the structure looks like. Okay, we need a solid offer to make all this work. What is our results first trial service? That's the key. That's the lever that we pull that lever and everything else falls into place, right? It works and positions everything else correctly. So we need it to meet some criteria. First and foremost, we need it to be something all businesses either want or need. Okay, one or the other, or ideally both. We want it to be attractive. We want it to be something that when we talk to businesses, the majority of them, this would be something that they would want or need. Okay. We also want it to be easy to deliver. If it's a results first service, I don't want to be putting in hours and hours and hours of labor and work, especially if it's something technical. I don't want to be doing all this stuff, all this work just for my one opportunity to open the door. Now, some might say, well, you would want to put a lot of effort into it. Well, we're going to deliver something that is professional, but it doesn't mean that it has to take a ton of time. And quite frankly, you would wear yourself down very quickly and throw in the towel potentially way earlier on an opportunity if you're constantly having to put in tons of work just to even present just to even try to get a conversation started. And if you're constantly maybe you don't get conversations initially, maybe if you keep getting shut down, what's going to be frustrating? You're not going to want to continue. So we want it to be something super easy to deliver, that it's not a ton of work, so that it is easy for us to stay consistent. And ultimately, we want it to be priced to sell. Now we're doing results first, right? So that's kind of that's nothing out of pocket for them. But when it is time to say, hey, here's the thing, if it meets that other criteria, right? Something all businesses want or need, and again, it was easy to deliver, like the icing on the cake is to make sure it's priced to sell, to make that transition from I see the result to yes, it's easy for me to you want the business owner to be like, yeah, that's very easy for me to obtain. And it's already done. Here it is. So if I price it to sell, not some out of reach price, something fair, but priced to move, priced for them to say yes easily and quickly. Okay. Then I have the three things that I need to make this whole business model work. Okay. And so what is it that we're going to do? Well, we talked about this before. We are going to an AI built website. Okay. Now we're just going to sell that as a website, but for us in our head, we know that it is an AI built website. Okay. So for one, websites are something all businesses want or need. Okay. Not everyone you talk to would want Facebook ads, and some people wouldn't understand it and you'd have to explain. And some people think that's just way too much. Some people may be interested in that, but all businesses that I talk to about a website, every business on the planet knows what a website is. Okay. And pretty much all businesses on the planet will tell you that they need a website, meaning it's important for my business to exist that I have to have a website. So that's a very high value kind of thing to provide because they all want and or need it, right? So cool. Now, easy to deliver. Well, websites can be very technical and coding and WordPress and all this stuff. Well, if that was the case, we wouldn't be able to use that. However, AI is in our life now, right? And it's everywhere. So we can use AI to build this website. And AI can do that for us. For something that would take weeks or months is now whittled down to a few minutes. With a few types on the keyboard and a few minutes, I have a website, a beautiful professional website. So it checks the box of easy to deliver. And then price to sell. Well, the average website, okay, goes from, for a local business, is going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. That's just in the history of websites. That's about how much a local business has had to pay for websites. Now, over years, they've gotten a little cheaper, but still, that knowing that that's the baseline, that's the marker that we're comparing to, we just want to fall lower than that range and we're good to go. We're immediately priced to sell. Okay, so it can easily meet all the criteria. And the fact, going back to the price, the fact that it's so easy to build, takes minutes, okay, it makes it easier for us to sell it for something very reasonable, but below something that we're going to be happy with the value, but it's still way below the normal average price range of what businesses in the past have had to pay for websites. Okay. Then let's talk about we'll get to the pricing here in a second, on the website. For the upsells, okay, if we want to keep things very, very, very simple, okay, we can have just a couple of services in our pockets. Now, we typically talk about 4 core services to offer, but today I'm just going to mention, again, I'm looking to get my first money. I'm looking to establish some stuff that's easy to sell and easy to manage, easy to accomplish, easy to deliver. And so out of the 4 core services I typically talk about, we're going to focus on just 2 that are super simple to deliver. They're our lowest price points, which again makes it super easy they got a website. And now if I'm offering more things, these prices are very attractive and makes it easy for the business owner to say yes after the website. So it makes it easy to add on. So think about it as someone ordered the cheeseburger, right? This is me essentially offering the fries and the drink in a nice combo meal, or, added on, but much lower than the cheeseburger. Does that make sense? Right? So the 2 services that stand out that makes it, again, that we're talking about here is, for one, and again, these services are 2 services that pretty much all businesses would either want and or need. Okay. So the first one, review management. Every business on the planet knows the value of having good reviews online about their business. I don't have to explain that to them. All businesses know that if they got a good review online, it would help their business. They just know that. Like, there's no teaching involved in that. Okay. So review management, right, is an easy and a very effective service that I can add on after I sell my website. And the great thing is that price point, I'm looking at anywhere from $200 to $300 a month, basically. That's super easy to add on. Now, understand the prices I'm giving you are kind of like nice baseline floor prices. Understand that there's people that sell review management for $500 a month, $1,000 a month. Okay. But I'm giving you nice, easy, foot in the door, or build my business from scratch pricing here that you can safely and comfortably and confidently offer at these prices and know that you're offering them a great deal and still getting paid for your value. Okay. So $200 to $300 there. Okay. Review management, helping them get more positive reviews online. Message marketing, right? That's one of the other highly effective services. That's what I consider our most highly effective service that we offer. And what is message marketing? Message marketing is simply email marketing and text marketing. So again, Black Friday is the great example. When Black Friday was around, all of you probably got emails from businesses that you had signed up to newsletters for or bought stuff from the past. You probably got emails from them, and some of them also sent you a text. That's all we're doing. We're taking an offer, like, for example, for a med spa, offering some a Botox treatment sale or some kind of thing like that. They would have a list of people that have bought their services before. All we would do is put that offer into an email and send it to one of the, to a contact, but also send them a text with that same offer in there. We're just hitting them two different ways with the same message. Again, what does that do? It helps increase the conversions. And typically within 24 to 48 hours, you've delivered a great deal of results from your offers from that service. That service also, because of how easy it is to deliver, it's a one and done type thing. I set it up in the system, hit go, and it's going to do all the emails and all the text to all the contacts. Okay. That's an easy $300 to $500 a month that I can offer that service. So again, another easy, great add-on service after I've sold the website. So now I have my core offer, which is my website, and I have my upsell. So now I have the business model. The business model is complete, right? The business model is complete. I have my foot in the door, right? And then I'll sell the foot in the door, and then I'll sell these other services. Okay. Now, where do I find businesses to do this with? Okay. So the easiest, fastest way to get this going is just to simply go where they're already asking for help, right? Where is that? That's Upwork. Free. Guys, can one of you comment? Am I frozen? Like, I see my face here and it doesn't look like it's moving, but it could just be the way the screen's showing it to me. I obviously see the whiteboard thing here, but I don't. But my face is like it's frozen. You guys hear me and see me? So finding clients, again, where they're already asking for help. Okay. So if I go to places, there are places online where businesses go and they just know they can go there and find people to help them with various services and things that they would need help with. Okay. Businesses like to use, or a couple places that stand out are places like Upwork. Upwork is one of the main ones, one of the biggest ones. And then you have ones that are things that are just like Upwork, Freelancer, Guru. They're just a little smaller. Okay. So Upwork is like Google for the search engines. Like most people use Google, but there's still people that use DuckDuckGo and Yahoo. That's what Freelancer and Guru are. Those are those little ones. Upwork is kind of the main one. So if I'm going to get started, I'm probably going to start on Upwork. And then expand down to Freelancer and Guru. Once I get in a rhythm with Upwork, I'll eventually expand and be on all three of these and constantly looking every day as part of my routine to look for projects across all of the sites. Okay. So, but also understand they're all the same. Okay. Thanks, Walter. Understand they're all the same. Okay. So they work the same way. People go to the site, they post a project, you can see it, and then you can submit a proposal for it. That's it. They're all identical in terms of how they work. It's just Upwork is a little bit busier than the other ones. Okay. There's more jobs being posted more frequently. Okay. So either way, we have our baseline of where to get clients. We know we can use these types of sites to get, again, this is about getting going quick and getting my first money and building from. Okay. So I can easily do this, easily do that using those sites there. Okay. So what are the tools? Okay. We talked about the AI tools. The only two AI tools that I literally need to get this business going, okay, are first for the website, Lovable. Super easy, has a free plan that I can get going with. Easy to use, okay? Perfect. The second one is, again, it's an AI tool, but some people are starting to think, well, this isn't really AI. People want everything to be complicated, but this is still AI. ChatGPT, that's for my proposals, prospecting, kind of outreach messages. Okay. Understand ChatGPT, that can be Grok, it can be Claude, it can be Gemini, it can be any of those. It doesn't matter. They're all pretty much the same. Slight differences between them, but they all work the same way. Okay. The cool thing is there are free plans for all of them, and super easy to use. Okay. So free, easy to use. I can get away with building up to a 5-figure a month business with just these two simple tools. Okay. Everyone's talking about all this other stuff. And yes, you can do a million things with AI, and there's a million services and a million things that you can put together, and workflows and agents and all this other crazy stuff. But if I wanted the most simple, easy to get started, easy to manage, easy to understand business, I can get away with just these tools to start. And honestly, just keep using these tools for the rest of my business, the rest of my business life, and be very successful doing that. Okay. So what are the steps in all this? All the process is I find an opportunity. Okay. Build them a demo website using Lovable, right? Build and send a proposal, and I'll use ChatGPT for that, or again, Claude, whatever you want to use. Ultimately, sell the website, and then ultimately sell other services. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. That's all this process is. And I can never get lost in this. Like I know this is it. So every day I'm starting with number one, finding opportunities. Okay. When I see an opportunity, I'll build them a demo website and submit the proposal. Okay. Then I'm just rinsing and repeating that until someone responds. And ultimately, I'm in a conversation with them to sell the website. And then I deliver the website, and ultimately we'll try to sell them other services if it makes sense for them. Okay. But that's it, over and over and over again. Really, I'm just doing steps 1 through 3 over and over and over again. And then throughout that, a percentage of the people that I send proposals to will reach out, we'll have a conversation. I'm ultimately selling them the websites. But this is it. This is all I'm doing over and over and over again. The beautiful thing about all this is we'll do a demo. It's super easy. I can have anyone do this for me. I can have VAs do this for me. So I can do this if I'm working part-time. I can do this if I'm working full-time. I can do this any day of the week, any time of the day, right? That's the beautiful thing about this, okay? And then ultimately, all I'm doing for my income, right, to get my first money, I can easily sell these websites anywhere from $500 to $3,000, okay? That's a one-time, right? It's just a one-time charge. Then my services can be anywhere from $300 to $800 a month. Okay. Again, depending on whether I sell one service, whether I'm selling both, what price points I'm selling them at. But this is it, right? This right here is very easy, right? So I sell a $1,000 a website for $1,000, and my services, I sell maybe one or both services for $500. Well, then there you go. I'm at $1,500 a month easy with one client, and nothing's hard about any of this. Okay. Meaning there's not a lot of technical stuff going on. There's not a lot of complication, very simple services, a very simple foot in the door offer, and boom, there you go. I mean, I can sell a website for $3,000, right? And maybe that's all I sold, right? But I made $3,000 from that one client, right? So the sky's the limit here. I'm always going to suggest for anyone that's just getting started is maybe start your first website. You started at 500. Okay. You sell your first one at 500. I don't care what it is. Sell it for 500 first. Get your feet wet, right? Get a little confidence underneath you. Sell it for 500. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Sell it for 500. And then the next one, sell that for 500, right? Once you've established that you can sell for 500, you can sell the next one for 500. It should be easy for you at that point. Once you sell your first one, it's all downhill from there because the process is the same. Okay. So sell the next one at 500. Once you've sold 2 at 500, then step up. Now sell the next one for 1,000, right? And that's an easy way to, one, just get started, get money in your pocket, but also to slowly build your confidence so that you can be like some of the other people that are charging $5,000 for these websites, charging $7,000. So even though, we're using AI in our process, there's still people selling these AI built websites for $5,000 to $10,000. Okay. So know that the price is really just a limitation of your confidence, right? If you're super confident and understand that what you're delivering is a professional delivered product, we'll see these, and some of you've already seen these. They're beautiful, amazing websites. Okay. Much better than what most of these businesses even have. Right. And so understanding that the value that you're delivering is worth way more makes it easier to sell. I can sell something all day at 3,000 if I know in my head that it's actually worth $10,000. Right. It's no different here, right? It's no different. You're just slowly building that confidence. The only difference is I can go in and sell one maybe for 3,000, but if you're just getting started, you've never sold one, you might be hesitant. For you, that might be a lot of money to ask for. And you're like, well, you have all these insecurities and unsureties. So for you, it might be easier to sell for 500, but I could just understand someone more confident can come in and sell this for 3,000. It's just based on your confidence. Now understand, I always want, when I'm selling, I want what I'm selling, the price I'm selling for, to be way less than the value I'm providing, or at least the perceived value that I'm providing. All right. So again, I can confidently sell this for 3,000 because I know this is something that could easily be worth $10,000. Right. But anyway, start at 500 and work your way up. Again, the services, both those services are cheap services, but highly effective. Okay. And again, there's something that all businesses want or need. Okay. Now, having said that, let's, so now having gone through that, let's actually just look at what this looks like for the really quick demo. All right. So what we'll do is we'll come over to, we'll try to do this on Guru. Just to show you, I just want to show that, again, Upwork, Guru, they're all the same. So I just want to do something different than Upwork this time. So find jobs. So I do something here. Okay. Again, it's going to work the same way for pretty much all of these. Okay. Let's just type in web design. Okay. You can see here, it has this little drop down. I'm just going to, again, all of these will typically do this. This is like their categories that they know exist on their site. So I'm just going to go ahead and click one instead of just typing something. I'm looking to type or looking to click on something like web design so that it'll pull up any web design projects or things that have been classified under that. Okay. So let's see, typically what I want to do, employer spend, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm typically going to look, oh, here we go. Sort by newest. Always make sure you're sorting by the newest, the latest stuff. Okay. So let's just look again. Guru is not as used as often as say something like Upwork, but I just wanted to show that this kind of stuff works. Okay. Here's one for a German speaking web design. Again, what I'm looking to do on these sites is just look for something I'm comfortable with. But all it needs to do is be a website. Now, also really quick to note, some of you always saying, well, don't most businesses have websites? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I don't care whether they have a website or not. Okay. For one, if they're posting here, it doesn't matter. They're asking for you to do something with a website, whether it's rebuild one, redesign one, or they don't have one and they need a new one from scratch. But also understand most of the websites you sell, I'd say definitely a majority of them, you're going to be selling them to businesses that already have a website. They're just not happy with it. They want to redesign. They've evolved from it. They want something new. They want something fresh. Some businesses just want to refresh their look. Okay. So just understand, don't get in your head wrapped up like, well, I'm worried. What if they have a website? Their website, just understand most businesses you talk to will already have a website. Okay. All right. I'm not liking what I'm seeing on Guru. Let's just go over to Freelancer really quick. Find work by skill. Okay. Oh, here we go. Website jobs. Okay. Let's see if there's any here. All right. Newest. Okay. E-commerce website development. So I want you also to get in your head that, again, something that you're comfortable with. If you're like food industry, e-commerce, I don't know if I should do e-commerce. Understand that Lovable can do anything, but you don't have to swing for the fences. You don't have to go into the big leagues right away. You can just start with something that's super easy. Like, again, I like to say, I want to play baseball with the toddlers. I don't want to go play baseball with the major leaguers, professionals. Okay. I want to go on the playground with the kids and just swing easy and not be scared of the ball and be able to just pound the ball all day long and win and be a hero out there, superstar amongst those. Right. So what does that mean here? It means I'm just looking for simple website builds. Okay. Okay, e-commerce site with Square. Okay, I don't feel like messing with that. I don't feel like integrating things. Monetize winery directory WordPress site. Okay, you can see here. So also understand that if they ask for WordPress or Wix, it doesn't stop me necessarily from bidding on them. I'm going to say, hey, this isn't WordPress, but here's a site that meets all the requirements that you're interested in. Let me know if you want to have a conversation. Okay. All right. Food delivery website. Let's see here. Here we go. Coffee van web design. Let's just keep it simple. Okay. Yep. He's ready to. So this is someone who doesn't even have a website, and they're looking for one. So let's just say this is something I'm going to bid on, would be something that I would look to bid on. Something simple. I need a website for my coffee company. That's what I'm looking for. This is the easy. This is, full stack developer. That's major league stuff. I don't comprehend or understand that. I'm looking for simple. Okay. Here it is right here. Okay. So I have a coffee van web design business. Now, all I'm going to do is we're going to come over to Lovable. Okay. Let me get this. Okay, we go to the dashboard. Oops, this was another project. Oops. Go to the dashboard. Here we go. All right. All I'm looking to do is grab the project. Okay, I'm going to just grab the whole entire project. Okay, I'm going to go to Lovable. Okay, and I'm just going to simply type, I need a website built based on the following project. Space down, hit enter. I'm pasting the whole thing. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly scan it. Okay, and delete anything that's not related to building the website. Okay, so like here, okay, so here, hey, I went all these pages. That's something integral to the website. Down here, I'll hand over Logri. Okay, because he's saying, hey, I want it to be loading fast on phones, and I want it simple to update for photo. I'm going to leave all that in there because I want Lovable, which is an AI brain, right, to read and understand what the client is actually kind of saying in terms of how they want the website to work and how they want to be able to update it and stuff like that. So I want that in there. But like this, once complete, I like the quick walkthrough. I'm looking forward. Okay, I actually might leave that sentence in there. So I'm going to delete this one about, hey, once it's complete, I'm going to need a walkthrough. That has nothing to do with Lovable. It just needs to know how to build the site. Okay. So I'm going to delete that, but I am going to leave this part. Looking forward to seeing how you'll turn our street-through vibe into an engaging web experience. I want them to understand the language that the client's using on how they expect this thing to look and turn out. Okay. So now all I did, I need a website built based on the following. And then I just pasted it in there. Again, removed a sentence that really didn't make sense for the website. It was more directed at me. Hey, do a video walkthrough later. The rest of it, and now I'm just going to hit enter. I'm just going to go. So I think this is great because Lovable has a lot of great info. The client provided a lot of great information about how they want it. Like, hey, they're explaining pages that they want, the core pages, how they want it to feel and all the other good stuff. Okay. So it's all there. All I had to do was give that to Lovable, who is a AI brain that is going to go ahead and it knows everything that it needs to do. It already understands how to build websites. I don't have to be technical. I just had to type. Okay. So this is going to go ahead and build this. While it's building, it's just going to take a few, look, it's already generating images. It's doing all the things that the client's already asking for. So the beautiful thing is this is going to work. It's going to take maybe a minute or two to do this. And I can go ahead and knock out the second part using the second tool. Okay. What is that? I need to be able to submit a proposal to this because once the website's built, I'm going to want to send a proposal to them. But the important part is I'm doing a results first. So I want to showcase the website in my proposal. So I'm going to want to send a link in my proposal. So I'm going to want my proposal to incorporate that. So that's why we're building this. And so the benefit of that is when I put the link to this website in my proposal and send it, because I'm doing results first, I'm different than most everyone else. Everyone else is saying, oh yeah, here's my portfolio. I could build something like this for you. The client, whoever they are, is going to have to imagine what that might look like. And they're going to look at the portfolio of the other people and be like, okay, well, here's a site they did for a plumber. I kind of like that, but it's hard to imagine how I don't know if that, while they're thinking that with other people, when they get to my proposal, they're going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, he's already built the demo, click the link. Now they are looking at a website that is already built for them. It's pretty much it's based on all the things that they already want. Okay. So that does a couple things. First, it eliminates my need to worry about a portfolio. So if I'm brand new, it doesn't even matter anymore because my portfolio is literally the site I built for them. They don't have to ask, well, have you ever done anything like this before? Okay. All right, it says waiting further instructions. I'm going to come down. Oh, okay, no, it's already built. So literally while I've been talking, the website is built. It's going to populate here in a second. Okay, all right. Look at this. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and close the sidebar so we can see the full site. Look at this beautiful website. This is awesome. And it's all based on what it is that they asked. Look, book our van. Look, it already has a boom. And so what it's done is produced pretty much the 90% solution. And I say 90% is because we don't know exactly if this is what they want, but based on the project, what they've asked for, we're kind of pretty much delivering already what it is they want. So going back to my point, they're not wondering what I could do. They're looking at this and saying, holy cow, well, look at this. This is basically, yeah, this is exactly what I want. They're starting to now they're picturing their business already using this site. They're not looking at a plumber site from someone else in their portfolio, trying to imagine how that would transfer over to it. They're literally looking at what their site would be. They're like, oh man, well, okay, we have a great picture kind of like this. Actually, we'd put that there. We give them our logo and put, maybe center that with a phone number or whatever. They're literally starting to imagine what this site would look like fully branded towards them. I like to say they're putting their business already in the website. They're kind of dressing it, right? And so that psychology of them already kind of making this their own already versus imagining what it could look like from a whole different niche type of website from someone else's portfolio. We're delivering pretty much the site they asked for. 90% solution, meaning there's not much more that they're really probably going to need to change other than moving some things around, changing up some of the content, which is going to be super easy for me to do in Lovable by simply just typing. Okay. So the way it would work, we'd send that proposal. If they're interested and we sell this website, they'll say, okay, well, here's the few changes and revisions that we're looking for. I'm just going to copy and paste those back in here to Lovable, say, hey, the client would like to make the following changes, paste, and then enter. And then Lovable is automatically going to do that for me. Okay. Once I have the website, I'm just going to simply publish it. The demo again. So I'm not worried about this being perfect. We're like, well, I don't know if they want, I don't care. I got the project information, put it in. This is based on the project this is based on their words. Now I'm going to send it to them in the proposal. Okay. So all I need to do, you can see here, it's going to, if I already know their business name or whatever, I can change this and make it make it whatever, but it's going ahead. It's just giving it this name, Street Buzz. I'll just leave that for now. All I have to do is hit continue and publish. Okay. I hit continue and then continue and then continue. I can change. There's different things I can update, but I'm not worried about all this just yet. Okay. So I'm just going to publish this now. Okay. And there it is. There's going to be the URL. It's telling me all this, whatever. And then I'm just going to, okay. It's my internet's super slow here or something. I'm going to hit publish and then it's done. Okay. It's really that simple. It's going to be available now on this link. Why is I got a nice lag. I think my internet's completely slow or something here. All right, so I have a nice lag here. But anyway, I have a URL here that I can use in my proposal. Understand, I can change this. I can use a custom domain if I want to. If I don't want it to be sunrisestreetbuzz.lovable.app, but I want it to be like Sunrise Street Buzz or Sunrise, whatever streeteats.demosite.com. That's fine. I can go buy demosite.com. See right here. I can go buy demosite.com, right? And GoDaddy or Namecheap or something like that, and then connect it to this, and then it will put it on that domain. And then I can be streeteats.yourdemosite.com. And then the next project I submit, maybe it's for Johnny's Plumbing. I can then use that same domain, but put it johnnysplumbing.yourdemosite.com. So I can keep using that same demo type domain over and over again, and it never shows the Lovable branding or anything like that in case I'm worried about that. And I can reuse that domain over and over and over again for all my projects. And again, how do I do that? Lovable walks me through how to set that up. Okay. All right. So the next thing I need to do is I need to get my proposal. So I can just come over to ChatGPT. Again, you can use any of the tools that you like, Claude or anything like that. And you're just going to come in, and now I'm going to say, I need an Upwork or a freelancer proposal based on the following project. Okay, I am going to add in, I have already built a demo website for them that I want to highlight in the proposal. Okay, colon, and then I'm just going to paste again, but this time I'm leaving everything because I want, in this case, ChatGPT to know everything that the client said in their project so that they can make sure that they tailor everything to that project and everything that they said, including what they're asking, you know, in terms of me to be able to like walk them through the changes, all that other good stuff. So here it is. And again, that's simple. And it's produced this awesome proposal. And in the end, look, it's even ended with a question that helps encourage a conversation. And so, and then here's the place I would insert my link. And so all I would do then is just copy and paste this into this project and submit. Now, obviously I'm not logged in or anything, but I would just submit the bid. Now, really quick, a couple things people ask about, well, how much do I bid? Do I say 500? No, all you do with these is whatever their budget is. Okay. So now in this case, because they have this big range, I might just put $500. But what I typically have always done is I've usually, a lot of times they don't give a range, they just give a dollar amount. I usually bid whatever the lowest part of the range is because they all work like this. I would submit my proposal and then I would move on, find another project. But once I submit my proposal, if this person is interested in in potentially working with me, they won't just say, oh, I'm just going to award this person the project. They will typically reach out with questions. Hey, I looked at your proposal. It looks really good. I'm interested potentially working with you. I just have a few questions, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And so also the fact that I've included a link to the website in my proposal kind of helps encourage the potential for them to reach out. So ultimately they would reach out, we'd have a quick discussion, or I'd answer their question, whatever that is. And then I would ultimately say, okay, well, got it. Okay, well, look, I can deliver this in full for you, exactly what you're asking for $500. That would be it. Okay. That's when the price actually is discussed. Okay. So just understand that when it comes to bidding, some people miss out on projects because they're like, well, this person, like say I wanted to sell it for 1,000. Like say I'm at the range now where I'm like, I'm confidently selling these websites at $1,000. Like I want to sell 1,000. And then I seen this, some people would skip. Oh, okay. Well, they don't have $1,000 budget. That's not understanding the psychology of the business owners that post here. The psychology is this is a business owner. He needs a website. He has no idea how much it's going to cost. Okay. The wrong assumption is thinking that these guys know exactly how much the cost is or exactly that's their budget. That's not the psychology here is they're like, okay, I need this. I really don't know. Here's a range of money because they're forced to put a budget. And also when they post, they have to pay some money. So some people actually put a real low price because they don't want to have to put up a lot of money to get the project posted. Ultimately, the real final price is discussed in the conversation before the project's awarded. In that conversation, I would say, okay, well, yeah, I can deliver all that in full for $1,000. And if they want to go with you, they'll just change it to be $1,000 and so that you get paid 1,000. Okay. So just understand that's how it works. But when it comes to bidding, I'm not trying to put exactly what I'm after. I'm matching it up to what they put because I'm just trying to get the conversation started. Okay. Which is my proposal is designed to do. And that's it. Over and over and over again, I'm just doing this. Okay. So once I submit this, I forget about them until I hear from them. If I don't hear from them, well, whatever, I never hear from them. But the process is minutes to do. That's the beauty of, again, the offer that we set up, the business structure that we set up. Remember, I said it had to be easy to deliver. Well, imagine if it took me weeks to build this website and then I come back. Well, first and foremost, if it takes weeks, that project's probably already been awarded to someone else anyway. So you would never even you never ever be able to do this anyway, because by the time you get around to delivering a website, the project's already closed and awarded to someone else. So that wouldn't work. if we weren't using AI. But because we're using AI and because it only takes us minutes to do this, you can see how easy this is to stay consistent and be able to do this very timely and on a again, very consistent manner, which is really the whole secret to this working. I have to have a process that I can duplicate consistently over and over and over again, because this is just a time-based business. Like most any service-based business is just time. Meaning I need to be able to consistently do this every day, because I don't know if the bid I submitted just now for this coffee van is going to be my next client, or if it's 50 submissions later, right? I don't know when the next client's coming, but I know this process works, and I know this process it has set me up for a high probability close based on everything that we've been talking about today. Nice, easy foot in the door, a results first approach. I know that works, and that strategy is better than the average approach. So all I have to do is stay consistent and the numbers will work out. And if you're thinking, well, 50 projects before I can get one, well, who cares? It takes me minutes to do this. And each project starts off minimum at about $500, right? We're minimally selling for 500, but that doesn't even count the services that I add. Okay. If I'm closing a deal where I'm getting $1,500 each client, and that's, maybe 500 to 1,000 for the website, and then $500 a month in services, and then I keep stacking that. Well, not only am I getting the sales from the websites, but my service revenue keeps stacking. Okay. And we only talked about our cheapest services, not even stuff like lead generation or local SEO that adds an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month in reoccurring revenue. So the process is very easy to replicate, very easy to duplicate, very easy to stay consistent. And also, important note, something I can easily insert anyone else into. I can easily have VAs or team members or whatever else I want to bring on board to help me execute this. And that's it. That's the simple AI side hustle, right? That I can do and earn my first, again, $1,500 a month online or more using 2 simple AI tools. Okay.